The best thing that we can hope for, the most important thing we can hope for, or pray for, or ask for, is that our desires coincide with God's will. Because at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, it's going to be God's will. It's always going to be God's will. You try to understand what his, why he does what he does, and you're just going to end up with a headache. Just do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Hi guys, welcome back to The Ratchet Christian. My name is Asmau and I am The Ratchet Christian. So DMX passed away last week. Condolences to him and his family. I was praying while he was on life support, that God's will be done, whether he was going to survive or go, whatever it is that God wanted to happen for him, and ultimately he passed away. And so I learned a few things from his passing, and I think the main thing was that, you just never really know what people's relationship with Jesus looked like, Once he passed away, there were just so many videos of him on Instagram, videos of him reading the Bible, hosting Bible study on live, praying, worshiping. Like, he had what seemed to be a real relationship with Jesus, as he struggled through a lot of things in his personal life. He had a relationship with God and talked about God and would pray to God and talk about Jesus, not just him alone, but he would talk about it with other artists and pray with fans and stuff like that. So I just found peace knowing that, okay, if this man passed away, he went to go be with Jesus, because it seemed like he had a relationship with Jesus. And so what that really taught me is, you just don't know what people's relationship with God looks like. And I think there's this preconceived notion that, the music industry, the film industry is satanic, and that is just full of 100% devil worshippers. And I used to think that way too. I used to think that Hollywood is just full of wicked, evil people. And I'm sure there's partial truths to that, for sure. It's not like that isn't a thing. There are wicked people in every single industry that you go into. But it took me moving to Los Angeles and moving to California. Los Angeles is in California. So it took me moving to LA to see that, there are so many Christians out here. There are so many Christians in the entertainment industry. A lot of you guys don't know this because I don't really talk about it that much on my YouTube channel, but it's I moved to LA gonna be 4 years ago in May 7th, when I moved to LA from Virginia, drove my car from Virginia to LA because I want to be an actress. It has always been my lifelong dream to be an actress, and so I packed up everything that I could fit into my Honda Civic, and I moved to California to pursue my dreams, and I'm still here pursuing my dreams, and progress is being made. I don't really talk about being an actress a lot because people are like, what shows have you been in? And I'm like, well, I've been in this show and that show, but I've been in background. You won't see me because I haven't had any lines. But even that, am learning to be proud of that too, that I've been on set with people, that I've been on shows, even if you don't see me. So it's I moved out to LA to pursue my dream of becoming an actress, and slowly but surely we're making progress. And through me moving to LA, I lived in Hollywood when I first moved here. I literally lived in Hollywood. I learned that there's just so many people who love Jesus who are in the entertainment industry. I have met so many actors and actresses and musicians and designers, so many creatives who are absolutely in love with Jesus. I think there's this preconceived notion that Hollywood is satanic and demonic from people who've never been here, and people who aren't in the entertainment industry. And while there may be some truth to that, I've also had the pleasure of meeting a lot of people who are believers. And I never got to meet DMX, but to circle back around to what it is that I was talking about, it seemed like he was a believer. Did he have his addictions and his struggles? Yes, but I guess the point that I'm just trying to make is you just never really know who has a personal relationship with Jesus, and you can't judge a whole industry because of what it may look like, because I personally have run into a lot of people in the entertainment industry who love God and who genuinely have a relationship with God. And I had to when I wanted to move out of here and become an actress, I had to ask God, I'm like, is this my own selfish thing that I dreamt up? Do I want to be an actress because I felt rejected, or I have a point to prove to people? is it a selfish ambition of mine, or have you really called me to do this? Did you put this dream in my heart? And so I just said, God, if it's not from you, then take the desire away. If you haven't called me to pursue this dream, I'm fine. I'll give it up. I'll do ministry. I don't care. But through living in LA and just seeing, it's like, okay, like, if there's a lot of darkness in Hollywood, if there's a lot of wickedness in the music industry, it's because people of light aren't there. You know what I mean? Anytime there's abundance of darkness, and there isn't enough light, the darkness is going to continue to grow. But it's like, because believers are afraid to go into different industries, those industries look the way that they do. For example, the entertainment industry, you know what I mean? Not every believer is called to be a pastor. Not everybody is going to be called to be a missions trip leader. Like, your ministry might look different. Your ministry may look like you working at an insurance company. Your ministry may be you designing, or it may be real estate. Like, God calls us all as believers to do different things. And if God has given you a gift, a talent, whether it be music or acting or whatever, like, surrender it to him, and then don't be afraid to pursue it. Ask God, is this really from you? And know that God gives us creative dreams too. It's not demonic to want to be an actress or to want to be a singer, and you don't only have to do gospel music. I don't only have to do Christian films. Like, God gave me a gift, and as long as I'm using it to his glory, then that's what really truly matters. So yeah, like, I live in Los Angeles. I am somebody who's working towards being in the entertainment industry, and because of my own personal experiences, I have met a lot of believers. I have never met so many people who love Jesus until I like moved to LA. Like, there's so many Christians in LA, so many young believers, so many young married couples, so many people who are on fire for Jesus, versus like, when I lived in Maryland, of course I knew believers, you know what I mean? But it was just like religion. I go to church because my parents go to church. Where here in LA, people believe in Jesus because they have a personal relationship with Jesus, and they have a reason to believe in Jesus. And when I'm on set, I always run into other believers as well. When I'm doing background for a show, God always pairs me with the nicest people who talk about God, like all these things. And so it's just really changing my mindset of Hollywood being this dark place of pedophilia to, you know what, God, like, you're calling believers into this sphere. You're calling people who know you to go and make the movies, to go and be in the movies, to go and sing the songs, so that the movies don't look like it does. Maybe you're called to be a director or producer, and because you're a person of faith, you can think, well, you know what, maybe this girl does not need to have her shirt off in this scene. Maybe we can still tell the story if she had her clothes on. You know what I mean? And maybe God's calling me to go and be an actress and be in films, so we can be like, you know what, the way that I interpret this character is maybe she doesn't do drugs. Maybe she is a person of color who doesn't come from a story of like being oppressed. Like, we can go into these spheres and these places of darkness and be light. We're not all called to serve in the church. You may be called to serve in the entertainment industry, and you shouldn't be afraid of that if that desire is in your heart. So yeah, wherever there's an absence of light, darkness abounds. More people of light need to be in the entertainment industry. More people who know Jesus need to be in charge of creating music, need to be in charge of creating sound, producing beats, producing film, directing film. We need to be in the arts and in design, so that there's more light there, there's more peace, there's more positivity, there's more Jesus. Maybe if there was more Christians in a room when Lil Nas was designing his shoes, somebody could have been like, you know what, maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe you shouldn't put human blood in these shoes. But wasn't no Christians there because we'd be scared to go into those types of arenas. But God said, go into the world and preach the gospel. We got to go into the world. Not everybody's going to come into a church. You know what I mean? And me pursuing acting, I may do a film that's not a Christian film, but guess what? If I win an award for it, who am I giving praise to? Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And just me being on set, treating people with dignity and respect, that's my ministry, to pray for people on set, that's my ministry, you know what I mean? So to sum it all up, like, DMX's passing just really showed me that God can use anybody in any type of field, no matter what it is that you're struggling with or going through. You can be a light in different areas of the world, and so rest in peace to DMX. My prayers go out to him and his family. And if you have a dream, you need to pursue it. If you want to be in the arts, you need to take that dream to God, ask him to confirm it and provide, and just trust that he will, because God's been providing. I'm not in anything yet, but you hold on tight. You might turn on the TV one day and be like, that's the Ratchet Christian. That's me. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't done so already, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and come back next week to see what we're going to talk about, because I don't know. Thanks guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.